What's up? I have some cool stuff on my head right here. Electrodes and wires right here. Why? Because my brain is connected to a computer. At least it's going to be in a minute. I'm doing a bunch of neurofeedback today. But first, I wanted to suggest that if you haven't yet had a chance to DM me and just say the word sleep, I'm going to send you info on my new 14-day sleep challenge. Because what I'm doing today is part of one of the many, many different things I've done to make my brain work better so that I can sleep better and I can do everything else better too. And sleep is at the core of how you show up, how you perform, anxiety. And I'm going to teach everything that I know about sleep, all the techniques, all the things I've written about, and a bunch of stuff I've never written about anywhere. About 5 minutes a day for 14 days and a big community of people all doing it together. So DM the word sleep to me and you're going to like it. I'll answer a couple of questions for you about sleep. And after that, I'm going to hop into this crazy looking thing behind me. Let's see if I can get the door closed. That's actually the big computerized meditation thing that I do. Yeah, if you message sleep here, it doesn't work. You guys have to go to the little thing at the top of Instagram and say direct message. Melatonin, yeah, that's one of the many things you can do for sleep. Some people take too much, some people don't take enough, and you can use it at different times. So if you do it here, unfortunately, I can't pick that up. I've got a thing. If you just go to the send Dave a private message thing at the end of this, it'll work really well. And then I'll be able to respond with a link for you that will tell you exactly what to do to sign up. Oh, Rowena, you already joined. You got your blanket, your pillow, and glasses. So you went all in. I got to tell you, because I used to sleep like crap. It was one of those things where sleep is a necessary evil. I'd sleep 4 or 5 hours a night. And then when I started tracking my sleep about 14 years ago, I found a whole bunch of stuff. What? Lady Goga says that I definitely support AI and ID 2020. That's so weird. I didn't even know that. But thank you for telling me what I support. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, these crazy people. I was saying that this 14-day thing, 14 years of data, you just get to know this works, this doesn't work, and then you look at the studies, you look at the why, and then you start talking with hundreds and thousands of people about, what's going on with my sleep? What's working, what's not working? So there's some stuff that's cheap and easy and some stuff that's free that you can do. And that thing where you wake up in the middle of the night at 3 a.m., for instance, I'm going to teach you guys how to solve that. Here's aloha, hola, 78. Podcast been life-changing for you? Thank you. Me too. That's why I do them. If you're just joining, I have this weird stuff on me, not because I walked under a seagull. These are electrodes connected to an amplifier via these wires. I'm about to go do some neurofeedback where I'm actually measuring my brain waves. What I'm doing today is increasing voltage in my brain, which is really cool. Very, very low cortical potential work, it's called. Gary, is it okay to inject NAD? Yes, and at my company, Upgrade Labs, we actually will inject NAD. Has Laith says, Dave, I'm a robot. No, cyborg, different. Surprisingly, I actually believe in upgrading all of my existing hardware before replacing it. So I'm not a huge fan of implanting stuff in the brain. In fact, I think that's probably a really bad idea based on one of the companies that I helped to start a long time ago about implant rejection stuff. Not human organ implant, but metal implant. You can be allergic to gold. Oh, here. Let's see. The seal inch. I have no idea. Thies. Whatever your name is. Hibernation package coming. So you went all in on the sleep challenge. That's so cool. And Dr. Tara, you're welcome for all my work. I appreciate it. All right. And then someone from Argentina. Beautiful. All right. You've already joined from Quantic Vibe. Thank you. Have I ever used ayahuasca tea from Pathare? Yes. About, say, 1999, I went down to Peru and I said, I'd like to find an ayahuasquero. And they looked at me and they said, Dave, you're white and you're a tourist and that's not for you. It'll make you throw up. That's for, local people. And I persisted and they found a medicine man who would work with me. And now you go down there, it's like tourism. I would just advise you, if you're going to use ayahuasca, be very careful about the source and about who you're doing it with. And go with someone who has years of training and experience for that. 23 TJR, you're welcome. Thank you for being an inspiring guy. I'm happy that this work changed your life. And Zoe says the same thing.
And Steve Fit Health says the Superhuman book made me respect your brand even more. You're going to listen again? Hey, thanks, Steve. Guys, I don't know a better way to share information with you than books, because I can take thousands of hours of writing, which is based on tens of thousands of hours of experience, and put it into about 6 hours for you. The podcasts are pretty good. You're going to get 8 to 10 hours of prep work plus an interview, right? And you listen to that, but the ROI in a book is always the highest. And on sleep, this is a new experiment for me. I want to teach you guys how to sleep. You don't have to read a book. We're talking about a 5-minute a day commitment plus whatever you learn that day, and say, does this work for me? And there's a lot of things you can do. They're just simple changes, but you have to sleep every night. So you might as well just get the best return on the investment in sleep you can do. That's why go to the DM function here. You can't just put it in the comments and just type sleep, and then I'll respond with a link to you. You'll be joining thousands of other people. We're going to be in a private group on Facebook where we can actually share notes with each other. We can compare notes. I'm going to give you the technology that actually lets you monitor your sleep without having to go out and buy anything, as long as you have a phone. That'll work, a phone that's in airplane mode even. And of course, I'll teach you, if you want to be a little bit better at monitoring, how to do it. And I've got discounts for you on other stuff that'll save you way more than the challenge. So I'm just trying to make sleep better, because it's one of the easiest things you can do. You want to be hard to kill from anything? Well, sleep is an easy, low-hanging fruit. I think we can all do it better, because I've gone from not that good to, I get at least an hour and a half of deep sleep, hour and a half of REM sleep every night, and quite often more. And that's in 6 or 6.5 hours of total sleep time. That's more than most people get in 8 hours, and I feel really good about that. Happiness for life. Would I advise taking some brain octane oil before bedtime? Yes. That's actually one of the 3 things you can take before bed, depending on why and when you wake up or what your sleep architecture looks like. There's a whole survey I put together around sleep that's part of the sleep challenge. I put a lot of time into this for you. And a little bit of brain octane oil can help some people, but not others. And it's an easy test to do it. Just don't take a lot of it, and don't drink it out of the bottle, because disaster pants, we don't need that. All right, Mauro says, hey, Dave, what amount of information do we have about sleep? How much do we know about it? You know what? We're still pissed off as scientists because we don't know why any animals need to sleep, but they all need to sleep. So what's up with that? Well, we don't know that much, but we do know a lot more than we ever did, in part because of electrodes like these. The cost and just the ability to get good data off the brain, what I have hooked up to my head now would have cost $50,000 to get something like this about 15 years ago, and the cost has dropped dramatically. And at my neuroscience company, we're actually making our own hardware and software for advanced altered states work with the brain, which is just phenomenal. It's one of the reasons I started, is I wanted access to those things for my own performance. But when you get into sleep, you can actually hook electrodes up. And I used to sleep with a headband that had an EEG machine attached to it, so I could really learn about my sleep. Now I've switched to a ring because it's a lot easier. But it's possible. Imbar says, open upgrade labs in Boston. Give me time. Eyes on the Prize says, hey, Dave, is the Oura Ring a great investment for sleep and overall health in general? Yeah, the Oura Ring is really, really good. I was CTO of one of the wristband companies. Intel bought the company for $100 million. It's called Basis. And we were the first to get heart rate from the wrist, the way your Apple Watch does today. So I know this space really, really well. And I will tell you, the Oura Ring rocks. And you rarely have to charge it. It gives you really good data about recovery in the morning, so you should do it. Delara, am I planning offline meetings with followers? Unfortunately, right now, no, except in 2021, there will be a biohacking conference that is coming, and the info on that is on the upgradelabs.com website. SGS Genka says, you start every day last 3 years with Bulletproof coffee. Hey, me too. It's a massive difference. And Tony, how's the road to 180 going? I feel like it's going pretty well. Although standing here with electrodes in my amazingly coiffed hair makes me look like I'm, at least 30. Singh, have I heard about being biocomplete by Dr. Gundry? I'm friends with Dr. Gundry, and the Bulletproof Diet was the first book, in a major diet book, that said, hey, lectins in food are messing with a lot of people. They're in the suspect zone of the Bulletproof Diet. And I will tell you, if you remove the foods that are triggers for inflammation from your diet, you will live longer. And so that is totally true. I don't believe all lectins are evil, because your body makes thousands of lectins a year. Cashews are well tolerated by most people, but not everyone. You've got to know, for instance. And I would say don't eat any tomatoes. They're not really that good for you. But Gundry would actually have you eat some tomatoes, which is like gross. Anyway,
It's kind of funny. Gary, could I explain why Ben Greenfield says NAD once taken, you feel like your heart's about to pop out, you feel like you're on fire? There's a lot. I have a hard time explaining a lot of what he says. That is not how it feels, having done it with lots and lots of people. People report a feeling of pressure, but that's a weird, probably lack of health response. When are you going to get 40 years of Zen to go? Well, man, I'm working on that. That's a hard one. What happened to my cheeks? I don't know what it look like. Like I'm standing in a place with weird lighting, little puffy maybe. I don't know. What's my take on 20 minutes of napping? Do it or avoid it? If you're really tired, you should do it. But generally, if you get the right sleep, you don't need it. Buy your book, Superhuman. Just finished it. Can't wait to practice some things. I think that you won't be able to do everything in Superhuman or everything in Headstrong, but you'll be able to do enough of the ones that matter for you that you'll see a difference from it. All right, guys. I'm going to actually go because I'm getting pinged from my neuroscientist who's on the line. He's going to get me going on my neurofeedback session for the next couple hours. But I want you to DM me, please. Just say, just write the word sleep in a direct message to me. I will respond with exactly what you need so that you can get everything going on your sleep challenge. It's going to be a lot of fun. And this is the first time I've ever tried teaching a large group of people like this. I know how to teach. I know how to do podcasts, and I've recorded a bunch of stuff for you. I put it all together. There's the survey and all the tools all put together. So it's worth your time. And I'm excited to see you there and in the private community for the sleep challenge. DM sleep.